Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylee and today's video is all about getting back on track. So maybe you've just fallen off a little bit, maybe you were sick, you took a holiday, whatever. If you're struggling to get back into your healthy, happy habits, then this video is for you. So what I mean by healthy, happy habits are the things that we do or aim to do each day to feel and be our best self. So maybe that's working out, eating healthy, whatever. For me personally, I have a few healthy, happy habits that I like to implement into each day to feel my best self. And those are meditation, even if it's just a few minutes to start my day, just focusing on my body and my breath, feeling grounded and peaceful. I like to journal as well and do a gratitude list. I try to do that every single day. Again, even if it's just a couple minutes, if I don't have much time, just writing some things that I'm grateful for to really shift my perspective and my outlook on the day and on life. Also, moving my body is really important. I do have a few previous serious spinal injuries that I had surgeries, so moving my body each day is so important to prevent pain and discomfort, to prevent stiffness, and just overall feel good. It feels good to move our bodies. We're meant to move our bodies. We're not meant to be sedentary and sitting around all the time. So always trying to get a workout in. You know, whether that's going for a walk, whether that's lifting weights or doing a yoga flow, just moving my body, stretching, you name it. Another thing is getting outside each day, and now that it's winter and especially where I live, it is quite cold. But even just to take 5 minutes and walk around my neighborhood or whatever, sit outside, but just getting that fresh air, that sunshine, it is so huge for energy levels and just boosting our mood. Another one is just fueling my body with healthy foods, foods that make me feel good, that don't cause me to feel inflamed and bloated and gross and yucky. I want nutritious, whole, good foods. I also like to take supplements every single day that also help to give me extra nutrients and to help balance my hormones and everything. So there's that. Another one too is reading. I try to read, even if it's a couple pages every single day, of some sort of literature that is empowering, that speaks to my soul. So something that is self-development related, something that gives you inspiration and motivation and, maybe gives you a new insight. So my favorites are Eckhart Tolle's books. If you haven't read them yet, I highly, highly recommend. There are no words to describe those books other than it's just so, they are so full of truth and wisdom and really speak to the soul. So those I just constantly have on repeat and I'm always rereading them. Or maybe you don't like to read and you like to listen to a podcast, just something that is going to aid your self-development and give you empowerment. And then another one is just having alone time. Each day I try to set aside time to be by myself. And I think it's so important to develop a stronger relationship with yourself and to just recharge without even being aware of it. When we're constantly around people, we're absorbing a lot of their stuff, a lot of their energy that maybe doesn't fit for us or isn't serving us. And oftentimes we can feel drained or picking up on negative things that don't even belong to us. So I highly encourage you, even if it's 5 minutes, shut the door, go in the bathroom, go in your bedroom. Maybe you have kids and it's hard to do that, but just making time to be alone and just check in with yourself, do a body scan, where am I at right now? So anyways, those are briefly just a little summary of my healthy, happy habits that I like to do. Recently, I was sick in October. I was really sick for a couple of weeks and the sickness kind of lingered on for a while. Even after that, probably about a month. And then I was lucky enough to go on a vacation recently. I went to Mexico with my boyfriend, Derek, my brother, and my sister-in-law. and we had so much fun. It was such a good time. But you know, when you're on holidays, you're just relaxing by the pool, you're indulging and everything, and yeah, by the end of it, I honestly felt pretty gross physically and mentally a bit too, just constantly being around people. So I just kind of felt yucky by the end. And when I came home, it had been almost 2 months since I had worked out. I had completely fallen off with my meditating every day. I wasn't journaling. Now I've been back from Mexico for a while and I need to get back to feeling good. And I'm going to share some of my tips that I use to help ease back from time off and, you know, indulging or resting or whatever it is, time off back to being on track, whatever you want to call it, but back into more of a routine and implementing those habits into my day-to-day lifestyle. So the first most important tip that I'm going to share with you today is to give yourself time. Give yourself time to rest and recharge. And I know some of you might be thinking like, Keely, you were just in Mexico, like sitting by a pool relaxing. Why do you need extra time to rest and recharge? Or yeah, whether you're in Mexico or whatever holiday, holidays are tiring. The traveling is draining, you know, just being out of routine and not at home. You're probably not sleeping as good. Maybe you're around more people and visiting people. It can be draining. And even if it's not, even if you don't feel drained, I still recommend taking time for yourself to ease back into it. I actually really suggest, if you're booking a trip or a holiday, to give yourself a day off before getting back to work. So rather than coming back and then like jumping back into work the very next day, try to plan it so you have a day off in between. And I know not everyone can do that, but if you can, I highly recommend that. I always try to do that when I'm going on trips. And whether it's a day, whether it's 2, whether it's 3 days, just giving yourself that time, because this is why. When you get back and you're at home and you're just coming back from a trip, or you're just starting to feel better after being sick, your mind, your ego is going to start saying, oh, I need to start doing this again. Oh, I should be doing this. I should work out and I should get back to this. And it starts to feel a little bit stressful. You start to dread things, or maybe even the guilt monster comes in and you're feeling guilty for the time you've taken off and you feel just gross about it. That's not a good place to start when you're trying to get back into healthy, happy habits. You want to be in a good place. You want to be excited about it, and you want to feel like, okay, I'm rested, I'm recharged, I'm ready. When you give yourself that time to rest and recharge, you're going to feel so much better, have so much more energy, your mood's gonna be better, and it's gonna feel a lot easier to slowly start easing back into your healthy, happy habits again. Whereas if you're like, okay, I need to get back and start doing everything all at once again, that's overwhelming. That's gonna sound hard to your brain, and it's going to feel difficult. You're gonna dread it, and less likely to get back at it as your best self and feeling your best. And the whole point of this video, or even just what I always try to promote, is feeling good. And that brings me into my next point, my next tip, I should say, is to remind yourself of your why. So if your why is, oh, I should start working out again because I ate so much bad food and I need to lose weight because I gained weight, that's an ego why. That's not a soul why. When you're doing something to feed your ego and feed your mind, it's not going to fulfill your soul, and it's not going to feel as good, and you're less likely to stick with it, and it's less likely to be enjoyable as well. Whereas if it's something that it feeds your soul, you're doing it because it genuinely makes you feel good, it makes you feel happier, more clear, just a better you, that is your strongest why you can have. So your healthy, happy habits, the things that you want to start getting back on track with, the routines, the habits, you want your why to be because they make you feel good, because they make you feel happy, content, fulfilled. That is your strongest why. And so reminding yourself of that. Please remind yourself of your why and make sure it's a strong one that speaks to your truth and your authentic self and not just your ego. The next tip is to just shift your mindset, because our mind just likes to resist. I don't know why, but it does. So, you know, when we've been off for a while, we've been off track, thinking about getting back on track, our mind is gonna resist it. It's gonna say, oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, that sounds so hard, or oh, I don't want to. And it's so common. I know I still struggle with that. And that's totally normal. That's totally okay. That's just our mind telling us things that aren't necessarily true. And that's fine. Those thoughts are gonna be there. Maybe we're, like I said, feeling a little guilty, feeling a little stressed or overwhelmed. That's normal, that's okay, but you don't have to believe it. You don't have to give into it. I talk about this a lot in my videos. Just noticing it and accepting it, like, okay, I'm having a lot of resistance here. Like, my mind is really battling this, and just noticing that, and then you can choose to change the narrative in your head. That's kind of where that why comes into play. Your mind's maybe saying, oh, this workout's gonna be so hard. I haven't worked out in 2 months. I don't know how I'm gonna get back to it. And you start to dread it, and you're gonna change the narrative and tell yourself, I'm gonna work out because it makes me feel good. I'm gonna work out because it's gonna help me feel less stiff and sore. It's gonna help me feel lighter and more energized. It's gonna boost my mood, and I know I'm gonna feel better after it. So that's my why. Or maybe it's getting back and eating healthy. It's like, okay, I'm not feeling physically very good because I've been indulging in all these foods that don't really feel good in my body. So I wanna go grocery shopping and pick out foods that I know feel good and fuel my body, because I'm going to feel better after. It's gonna give me more energy. I'm gonna feel less bloated, less yucky. So shifting that mindset. And it's easier said than done. Like I said, our minds are gonna resist, and they are very powerful. So that's why self-awareness is so important, and just being aware of it, accepting it's there, but not believing them. Another trick I like to do is visualize my choices. So with everything in life, we make a choice, and that goes against a lot of what people say or believe. I think a lot of people like to play victim to life and be like, oh, well, this happened, so I can't do it, or oh, I can't do this because of this. You can do almost anything. Like, you have the power, you have the choice. You just have to make it. So when it comes to, let's just use working out. I don't know why I keep using that example, but working out, getting back into working out, your mind's gonna resist, and you can say, okay, I can choose to listen to these thoughts, and what is that gonna look like, and visualize it. And you wanna visualize, okay, what would it look like if I made the choice to work out right now? Okay, I would get up, I would go pick out a cute workout set, put on my runners, grab my earbuds, I'd go to the gym, or for me, I go down to my basement and, you know, put on a really pumpy song that makes me feel good, that I wanna like dance and move to. And okay, I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes, and just whatever that looks like. Maybe I'm gonna plan out a few exercises, maybe I'm just gonna wing it. And how is that gonna make me feel? Am I gonna have fun doing it? Am I gonna feel better after? And usually the answer is yes. So you have 2 choices there, and it's up to you to visualize each choice and how you're going to feel at the end of it. And that's gonna help you choose, hopefully, the choice that is gonna help you feel good. Our mind can often tell us that the choice that's not gonna make us feel good is easier. Like, oh, working out's so hard, it's easier to just not move and sit on the couch and not move my body. That sounds way easier. But is it really easier if you feel gross at the end, if your body feels stiff and sore, if you feel more lazy and less energized, if your mood isn't as good? Or is it easier to go make a workout fun, do like 10 minutes, whatever, go for a walk outside and feel good at the end? Isn't that easier? So that's another thing to ask yourself, and kind of challenge your mind a little bit that way. My next tip is to ease yourself into it. Meet yourself where you're at. If you haven't been working out in 2 months like I just did, I'm not gonna be like, Kate, I gotta work out 5 days this week. I'm gonna do hour-long workouts, I'm lift heavy weights, or I'm gonna do intense HIIT workouts or whatever. That is not meeting myself where I'm at. That is not easing myself into it. It's gonna sound hard, it's gonna sound overwhelming. It's not gonna be enjoyable, and I'm less likely to do it. I'm more likely to procrastinate and not work out. Or maybe I'll do 1 workout and then be like, oh, that was so hard, I can't do 4 more, and I don't work out the rest of the week. Instead, I can ease into it, and like I was saying, set a timer for 10 minutes and just focus on being in the moment. And okay, I'm gonna do a workout today. I don't know what the rest of the week's gonna look up, but right here, right now, I'm choosing to move my body to feel good. Or maybe, yeah, like pick one day to work out. Or for me, it was realistic to have 2 days. So I told myself, okay, my goal for this week out of these 7 days is to work out twice. Even if those are just really quick workouts, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm still going to celebrate that win, and celebrate those small wins is so important for helping continue to do the habits that you're trying to re-implement into your life. And cheer yourself on, like be there for yourself the whole way. Doing 2 workouts, yeah, 2 months ago when I was doing 5 workouts a week for half hour, 45 minutes, I don't compare myself to that. I'm meeting myself where I'm at right now in the present moment and saying, wow, cool, I got 2 workouts done this week. Yeah, sure, they weren't my best. Yeah, sure, they weren't the longest, but I did it, and it feels so good, and I already feel better, and I feel more excited, and I'm ready to do 2 more workouts next week, or maybe 3 if you're feeling like that's doable and not overwhelming, but really just taking it step by step, not trying to do everything all at once. Of all of my healthy, happy habits, rather than saying, okay, starting tomorrow, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna journal, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna get outside, I'm gonna eat healthy, like rather than doing it all at once, which is so overwhelming, especially after you've fallen off track for a while, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick my number 1 most important healthy, happy habit that I know is gonna make a big difference, but that sounds the easiest to me. That like is the least overwhelming to my mind that's trying to resist it all. For me, that was meditating. I'm gonna go on YouTube and look up 5-minute meditation and do a 5-minute guided meditation. It's 5 minutes, but it makes such a big difference, and I feel so much more grounded, more clear, more peaceful after, and I celebrate that small win of like, okay, wow, we meditated today. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna aim for it again, and really just easing yourself into it. Please, please, please don't try and bombard yourself with everything all at once. Another thing too, after you've stopped doing things for a while, is to leave out visual cues for yourself. So for example, I kind of fell off track with taking my vitamins, and I just, yeah, like when I was on holidays, you know, I take them every now and then, but I was like, you know, out of routine and just kind of, I honestly just forgot. So instead, when I got home, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave my vitamins out on my bathroom counter so that every day or every night for me, well, after I brush my teeth, I know to take my vitamins, or maybe it's every morning, and leaving it out. Same with journaling. I was not journaling for a long time and kind of forgetting about it again. So I started leaving my journal out beside my bed or beside my couch. So in the morning when I come sit down, have my coffee, oh, I look, my journal's right there. Perfect. I'm gonna sit and take a few minutes to just write out my thoughts and feelings, or write out a gratitude list. So give yourself some visual cues. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Just kind of like re-trigger and retrain your mind and remind yourself of what you do. Like, okay, yeah, this is what I do. Right, now I remember. And the last thing kind of goes along with the first thing, and it's another very, very important one, is to give yourself love and patience. If you're genuinely really tired and you're needing an extra day or 2 before you can get back to doing things, tell yourself it's okay, because it is. When you give yourself time to rest and recharge, you know that then you're going to be that much better and that much more ready to get back to stuff. So for me personally, I took like 3 days off after I got back. I was lucky I didn't have to go back to work right away. I just rested. I slept, I rested. I didn't worry about working, making videos, working out, whatever. I was just like, I'm tired and my body's tired and I just want to rest. And I did. And I allowed myself, and you know, sometimes some guilt would creep in here and there, but I just was like, okay. Oh, sorry, I got something in my eye. Whew. After a few days, my battery was recharged. I was at 90% again, 100% again. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling a little more motivated, feeling more energized. And I was a better me to then make the right choice that best serves me and to get back into it without getting burnout or getting drained. Whereas if I had pressured myself to get right back into it the day after I got back, when I was genuinely tired and needed that time to recharge, I would be operating at like 40, 50%, and I wouldn't be the best Kaylee. my workout wouldn't have been as good. I wouldn't have been able to be as clear and grounded during my meditation. My mood might not be as good. I might not be interacting with people as well as I would like to, or I might be more reactive in situations than I normally am. So let yourself charge up. You're like a battery. You need to charge up and get to 80, 90, 100% so that you can be the best you to do life, to do work, to do your workouts, whatever. Recently on Instagram, I can't remember the account name, but this girl wrote a quote and I absolutely loved it, so I want to share with you. She says, instead of asking yourself, have I done enough work to deserve rest? Which is, I think, very common, and we often believe that for some reason, that we need to work really hard and then we deserve rest. But why can't it be the other way around? She says, have I rested enough to do my most meaningful work? So that goes with what I was just saying about being your best self, having your most meaningful work, putting your best effort in. You want to be operating at a higher percentage, as I was just talking about. And give yourself patience. It takes time. Don't expect that you're going to be able to get back into all the same habits and routines that you were doing before you took time off right away. It took time to build those habits and routines. So unfortunately, it takes time again to restart them. And maybe that's days, maybe that's weeks, maybe that's months. That's okay. The point is that you're doing it and you're taking a step in the right direction. So just tell yourself it's okay. Give yourself love and be patient. You will get there. Yes, we want to get back on track with feeling our best and doing the things that help us feel healthy and happy and everything, but can't do any of that without loving yourself first. And that's really the foundation of it all, really. So anyways, it's getting dark, so I'm gonna wrap up this video and finish my coffee. I hope that you enjoyed it and got something out of it. But feel free to comment anything down below or ask me a question if you have one. I am sending you so much love, and we will see you in the next video.